Hiya. Hope you can excuse my bit of a sore throat I've got at the moment, but I like to put out a video this day every year because it's World Mental Health Day. And this evening I took part in the Run and Talk, which is a national thing about running kind of an easy mile with sort of a local group of runners. And I went to one organised by Michelle of Michelle's running group, and lovely event surrounded by friendly people, and it's great to see so many people coming out in support of something that affects most of us some one way or another in our lives. So it's World Mental Health Day today, and as usual I want to say something, and it is actually quite hard to think of something I've not already said before, so I apologise if I go over old ground. But the cause does still need signal boosting. People are still dying, people are still suffering, people are still feeling alone. And even when they try and get help, mental health is very much a neglected part of our health service. And when people ask for help, there just isn't resources available to provide it. 5,821 deaths by suicide were reported last year. And this is actually the lowest rate since 1981. Last year, men were 53% more likely to die from suicide than women, and that's also an improvement from previous years. It accounts for more deaths and road traffic accidents for under 35s, but we spend far more on keeping young drivers safe on the roads than we do helping those with mental illness. And we're the lucky ones, living in the UK with our wonderful NHS. To be honest, I doubt I'd be alive if I lived in the USA, where guns are easier to get hold of than medication. And I believe a lot of these needless deaths are because of a stigma, especially amongst men. Man up is a phrase often said to men who are struggling, which is disgusting and insulting to both men and women. Men expressing emotion is viewed by so many as a sign of weakness and is often belittled, even by people who are close to you and who care. I guess one of the things of visible illness is there isn't an outward sign that someone is like you. You know, you can appear normal, because we are really. Sometimes we can spot our own. Probably due to my openness and quirkiness, I'm a little easier to spot than others. However, I have a fairly normal job, good job with quite high stress and important role, and also run director at our local parkrun and junior parkrun, and I'm regularly put in positions of responsibility and trust. A very normal life, and there are many like me living normal lives that 9 out of 10 times you wouldn't be able to spot anything. And this is good, because we're not freaks, but we are hidden, which means that we do need to speak, to let others know that they're not alone and show you can have a normal, productive life when living with these conditions, and to show those who might be struggling, but also to prove to those who are mistrustful of the mentally ill and think, the people who still think we should be locked up in asylums. And even though things are going well for me, and it's never not there though, it's always in the background, it always feels like it's lurking behind you, ready to ruin a good time. And I had a great weekend this weekend, partying in London Friday with friends until the early hours, and followed by a day out Saturday, sort of exploring and having some great food. And this morning, struggled to psych myself up to get out of bed. Scared of facing the world, scared of going to work, and pretty scared of going to running club afterwards. And tonight is Hills, which I really love doing, and we're doing the mile and chat for mental health. And I know I'll be surrounded by friends, but as I wrote this script, I just wanted to run away and hide in my bedroom. So we're encouraging people to talk. So what do you do if a friend or family member opens up to you and confesses they're struggling? First of all, if they suggest to you that they're at risk to their own health or those of others, professional help is needed straight away. But other than that, listen, don't belittle, and don't dismiss, and give them your full attention. Put down the phone, put down whatever, shut away distractions. And it's very easy to attempt to reassure by saying everyone feels like this from now and again, but that's often belittling when they're trying to tell you it's something that not everybody feels. This is something more. You wouldn't say to someone with a broken arm that we all get pain sometimes in our arm. Yes, we all do get sad, but trust them if they say it's something different. Offer comfort if it's wanted. Sometimes I want to hug, but sometimes I want to hide. And if they want to hide, let them, but check in. Encourage them to interact, but don't try and force anything. And let them know you're there to chat and you're there for them when they do feel like it. And it doesn't have to be chatting about what's going on. It could be anything. Or just sit there, put on Netflix. But try not to force anything. It is easy to smother someone, and even if it's done with love. And it might be British of me, but a cup of tea can actually work wonders. But just being there really helps. And I've often not taken people up on offers of help, but knowing they're there, people offering can help. And I know I've got a support network, and I know I've got people who will catch me if I fall. But one thing, please don't promise to say you'll always be there if they need you and if you're not willing to follow through, because rejection at a time of crisis can be actually such a kick. It can be dangerous when, if you think you can rely on somebody you can't. And another tip as well, relating to self-harm, is please don't ask them to promise not to do it again. Because, we don't actually want to be self-harming. And, it's not something we're proud of. And it'll just make us feel more guilt and shame to break a promise and to hurt people, and probably just likely to hide it from you. But I think, really, the honest truth is there is no real answer to the question of what to do. But just being there, being a friend means the world. It's my friends and family who've kept me alive. And it's just those little messages sometimes, someone popping up and a friend saying, hey, I love you, haven't heard from you for a while, hope everything's all right. Just knowing there are people out there who care. And I've given a list of things, and perhaps do's and don'ts, but try not to worry about getting things wrong. I mean, we're only human after all, and if it's done with love, it'll be likely to be received with love. And that's how I'm going to sign out, by just sending out love. And, if anyone's out there, you're not alone. There's many of us who have been through what you're going through, come out the other side. Many of us going through it at this moment. And just want to say, love you all, and thanks for listening, and spread the word.